altogether. And
how did the culinary school thing happen?
Well, when I dropped out of college or university, I had a discussion with one of my friends. I'm like, I'm really not happy with, the direction I'm going in. I don't know what to do with my life. I'm kind of like, I got to figure it out. And my friend was just like, why don't you enroll in culinary school? And I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, I mean, you love cooking, so, like, why don't you just do it? And I'm like, I honestly, like, I had to think about it. I was like, I'm like, should I?
Like, cook for a living?
I'm like, should I?
Because you already know all about restaurant life.
Exactly.
Been
and
doing
I'm
it.
like, my parents are going to be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And anyway, I did it. I literally enrolled the next day after I dropped out of college. Because I literally, I'm like, I had no idea what I was going to do. But I'm like, I had this thing in the back of my brain, like, I have to finish some sort of school.
Yeah.
And so I just did culinary school.
Did you tell your parents right away?
I did not tell my parents.
You did not?
No. I definitely did not tell my parents.
So they thought that you were at nursing school still? For
sure.
And you were at culinary school. Yes. How long did that last? When they went to your graduation?
No, literally, I fucked up one day and I left my knives in the kitchen.
Oh.
My knife bag.
And you were
and
like,
my mom found it and she was like, and I came home and she was like, what's this? And I'm like,
that's actually my surgery box.
I'm like,
for nurse class.
That's actually my friend's.
Yeah.
Like the old, like, oh, those are my drugs.
Those are my drugs.
Those are my friend's drugs. They're not mine. So I definitely pulled that card.
Yeah.
And for sure it did not work. Obviously, they figured it out. And they're just like, well, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly, I don't really know what the fuck to do with my life. And I kind of enjoy this culinary school thing. I kind of enjoy, like, cooking. And they're just, like, not about it. They just were not about it.
Mm-hmm. How long did it take to convince them?
Not until I actually won Top Chef.
Wow.
Which was like in 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So you had to live with probably a decade of just shame.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like, live your life, or
fuck it.
Yeah.
That's all good. That's like some chefs, too, that you work for. You're like, well, he's just going to be pissed anyway. Fuck it. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
So you're in culinary school. How'd you enjoy that? And what culinary school?
I went to Schoolcraft College in Livonia, Michigan.
All right.
And, we actually had our instructor. We had like 5 Master Chef instructors.
Okay.
Yeah. ACF.
Got you. Okay, yeah.
So it was a really great school.
Does that happen anymore? ACF, Master Chef?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot out there still.
I think it's so cool. Like, I think
it's a very rigorous test that you have to take.
It really is.
Are you familiar with Brian Polson, the charcuterie list?
Yeah.
He was one of our instructors.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys had some.
We had like some baller chefs.
That's cool.
As instructors, they're amazing.
You hear that, Johnson and Wales on CIA? I'm not throwing any shade, but I'm just saying.
And school wasn't crazy expensive, like how I hear about all these kids from CIA paying like $100,000 for school, and I'm just like, oh my god, I could not imagine paying back $100,000.
I'm about $70,000 still owed.
Oof.
And it's been 10 years.
Oh my god.
That I graduated in 2011, and they're like, well, we'll give you 6 months after you graduate to find a job so you can pay us back. And then they start, and it's like, you never look back, and it's like, you can't save money. You can't, you know what I mean? So I just live my life like, well, what am I going to do? Pay my school loan or go out to eat at this restaurant? And I fucking went out to eat at the restaurant, because at the end of the day, it's like, now I garnered all these experiences, but I still owe, the money. So it's like, I'm going to owe the money regardless. I'm going to do these things, you know? But yeah, definitely be grateful that you did not do that shit.
Yeah.
So how long is this program?
2-year program.
2-year, okay.
Like associate degree.
Okay, got you. So it was a pretty, would you say it was rigorous? Was it harder than what you were doing pre-nursing and all that, school-wise?
I think for me, I thought it was easier
Yeah.
because I had restaurant experience, I guess. Obviously very different than what you learn in school.
Yeah.
Because we're learning traditional French techniques and French sauces and, all those things. So
Yeah.
it's very different than, obviously, from what I know. But I think it was, I think I had good ethics going into culinary school.
Yeah, okay. Got you. And then, so you're 2 years there. Do you have to do an internship program for the school? No. You're done with your 2 years, you get your certificate, you bounce. Is there a final test?
Yeah.
Like a final...
you basically...
Practical?
A practical.
Got you.
So you...
What do you got to do?
Create your own menu for a restaurant.
Okay.
Like your own concept.
Okay, I can see that. Do you have to cost it out and all that shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you write out your menu and, you actually pick a few dishes out of a bag that, you've been taught, like traditional French dishes, and you create that.
You cook them?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then you actually create your own dishes as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so a bunch of different...
And are the teachers eating the dishes?
Yeah, so we actually had a restaurant in the school.
Okay.
And yeah, you were a server one week, and you're doing basically every single different position in a restaurant.
In a rotation.
Every week. So for 5 weeks.
Yeah, that's good practice. After leaving there, did you use the chefs that were your instructors to help you get a job?
I did. I mean, we kept in touch for a long time. But there was a board, a bulletin board of openings for jobs, and there was actually a position to work at the Detroit Lions training facility. And so I actually went to go do that.
Okay.
So I ended up working at the Detroit Lions training facility and cooked for all the players.
Okay.
For basically 2 summers.
Like dietary restriction cooking?
A lot of dietary restrictions, but it's essentially 3 meal services.
Yeah.
We did breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and there were specific meals throughout the day, but then you have those specific players that are doing specific diets, can have this, can't have that, and we would do something special for them.
Gotcha.
But obviously, they can eat whatever they want.
Yeah.
But they know what they need to eat and what not to eat. But we tried to accommodate. Well, we obviously did accommodate everybody.
Yeah. Whoa.
How long? It's definitely very interesting to work in a place like that.
Yeah. And then, did you not see kind of a future in that? Were you like, I got to get out of here?
No, I think it was just like a good stepping stone.
Yeah.
To kind of get into the food world, but obviously I wanted to get some restaurant experience.
Yeah.
And I forgot how this came up. I forgot how I even got the job, but I knew Michael Simon was opening up a restaurant in downtown Detroit.
Yeah.
And I kind of immediately jumped at that. To open up a new restaurant for a well-known chef at the time. And yeah, it was pretty exciting. It was, they had just remodeled the Book Cadillac Hotel, which is a really cool hotel in downtown Detroit. And the restaurant was going in there. So it was a steakhouse. It was a steakhouse of sorts by Michael Simon called Roast, and yeah, definitely learned a lot of cool shit working there.
What any notable chefs on the opening team? Anything like that?
We had actually Andy Holliday.
Okay,
he was a sous chef there, and he now has his own restaurant in downtown Detroit called Selden Standard. Okay, which is an amazing restaurant.
I did not know that Detroit was such a food town.
It actually is.
Yeah,
there's a lot of great places in Detroit.
Would you ever go back and open anything up over there?
No.
You're like,
I could never live there.
You're like, I'm not trying to put my family out of business,
like,
dog. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just, I don't know. I think I like to live in a place, like, I'd like to live in a place that I like.
Yeah.
So.
I hear you.
I could open up a restaurant there, but then it's like,
you gotta live there.
You know, how often can I be there?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how long did you work at Michael Simon's place?
For a year.
For a year.
Yeah.
Was that intentional? It's like, I'm going to work here for a year, check it out, and leave, or?
I think a year is actually pretty good at the time for, you know, being that, you know, it was a restaurant opening. But I honestly wanted to move around and kind of see other
things. Yeah. Did you know that was important at the time? Was there anybody telling you, like, hey, you have to go stage and you have to go work?
No, not at all.
Was there another cook that was maybe with you in your path from school?
Actually, one of my really good friends, her name is Destiny. She's actually half Puerto Rican and half black.
Hey, shout out to Destiny. Boricua.
She was actually like my station partner in the beginning, and we kind of like came up together.
Okay. What's she do now?
I think she's actually working retail now. She's not in food anymore.
She's in Best Buy.
No. I don't think she's working there. But so that was really fun. But yeah, I never, no one ever told me to like, go stage at this place and go do that. I never really got that up until like I went to Chicago. Okay. And I was actually going to move to San Diego prior to going to Chicago. I ended up going to Chicago because I kind of just wanted to hang out for a bit, and I don't know, I was still young, so I was just kind of like, all right, let's go fuck around for a little bit. My friend had just my friend from home, from Dearborn, had moved to Chicago, and he was just like, oh, hey, you know, like, come down to Chicago, you can like stay with me for a bit, whatever, until you like move to San Diego, because I was going to move to San Diego in like 3 months. So I ended up going to Chicago, staying with him. And honestly, after my first 2 days there, I was bored out of my fucking mind. I went on Craigslist and started looking for jobs, and I found an opening for a job for a raw bar somewhere. Obviously, you know, all these these ads are super vague. Anyway, I submitted a resume and got a call back, went and staged the next day, and pretty much got the job on the spot. And it's actually pretty funny, because this is the job that, although I didn't stay there for a very long time, because obviously I had plans to go somewhere else. Yeah. After, I formed a lot of amazing friendships that I still have today, and they're some of the best chefs in the country, which is pretty insane.
So awesome.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Sea House.
Sea House.
Yeah, it was right off of Michigan Avenue. It was a restaurant by Marcus Samuelson. Okay. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Was he involved? Was he like there?
Yeah, he was basically, it was his restaurant, but I mean, you know, kind of rarely there.
Okay. Kind of. Got it. So it was on what year is this?
This was 2007.
Okay, got you.
2007, 2008?
Yeah.
A while ago. A long time ago.
2007, 2008. That was the first year Top Chef came on, no?
I have no idea.
2008? My boy Harold?
Yeah, Harold.
Harold won the first one, my boy.
Was that? I don't know. I don't remember what year that was.
Yeah, it was like the first season. Mm-hmm. It was a rough season. You can tell those guys got worked.
I mean, I think, you know, the first season of any type of show is, you know, you're figuring out the kinks. Yeah. So, I mean, I think, obviously jumping the gun a little bit, I think our season was pretty seamless. Yeah. You know, like, everybody had, you know, the production team had a groove of how things were supposed to be. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that goes to show, like, as time moves by. Like,
Yeah.